Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another video. Hope you guys are doing well today. And in this video we're going to be talking about WoW, and I've just come back to the game myself. I know a lot of people that are coming back for the latest patch, obviously this being one of the final patches in this expansion, and I'm kind of talking about how to get geared. So a big thing at the moment is obviously people coming back to this patch aren't going to have any gear, especially if they've been out of the patch for a while. So we're now at a point where we're coming in, and I mean, even my mains from like the first raid of the expansion have no gear in like comparison. It literally is just a joke how little gear I actually looks like I've got. So here's a couple of different ways for you guys to catch back up. It's exactly what I've been doing. Day 2 I'm at 900 plus eye level. By tomorrow I want to be like 930, and I'm doing nothing particularly special. I'm not going hardcore on the game. It's just doing a couple of things that is pretty obvious. So let's start talking about them. First one's first, as you can probably see, is actually Mythic Plus. Now this is the second Mythic Plus I have done. So it's not like I've been spamming them to get my gear. I've actually got my gear through other ways, but Mythic Plus is a decent way. My suggestion is run a Mythic as soon as you can, or even a couple of Mythics. Running a couple doesn't hurt at all. You effectively run a couple of Mythics, farm them as much as you can or you want to run all of them when you first ding, or when you come back to the game just to catch up, because obviously the gear has been improved since the last time you played. I almost guarantee it. So you then do that, you get your key, and then level your key up and downgrade it as and when as well. So if your gear is just not quite good enough for you to be getting in like pug 6s, you can probably do a 6, it's just pugs aren't going to let you in. As an example, I saw a guy earlier that was asking for 900 eye level for the group to do a dungeon that only rewards 895 gear. There's no logic behind that at all, but obviously people can ask for whatever they want, so make your own groups is the thing I would recommend. And if you're going to do it, know that you can probably go higher than what pugs are telling you can go, because they're typically a little bit overtuned. Again, I'm only doing a 2 here just because this is what my key was. I actually managed to get into another group that was a 2 because I had a friend that was kind of coming back into the game as well. And again, so I just put this open, didn't put an eye level requirement, and I found a group full of 920s. And this is it. You don't have to be that raid leader that's like, oh, you must be 18 eye level above the group exactly. You must have Mythic 15 cleared this week to join my group. No, it's not going to happen. Just be realistic. So I did this, didn't even put an eye level requirement, didn't whisper them and say you must have this achievement. I just said, look, come join the group, do a Mythic Plus before the reset. And I got a decent group full of people that are going to be able to easily clear this, and I'm going to go on to my next key afterwards and do the same. You know, if it's a sucky dungeon, I'll go and level my key down. So for those of you who aren't aware, you can level your key down now. You go into the dungeon, put your key in, then walk out of the dungeon. Make sure you're alone when you do this, it's just a lot easier. And you'll level your key down. So say my next key is, I don't know, we're going to say Arcatraz, Archway. It's a sucky dungeon, don't really want to do it, it's too long. So I'm going to lower it down so we can fast run it, and then, yeah, like, we'll run it quickly. My next key hopefully is something better, and so on, so forth. So Mythic Plus is definitely a great way, and like I said, I recommend more than anything you actually make your own groups, unless you're a healer or a tank. Now, if you're a healer or a tank and you're confident in your abilities, you can probably go higher than you're actually supposed to be able to go, because supply and demand. People need tanks and people need healers. So actually, even if you're leveling for like Boomy, for example, I'm not quite doing this as I wanted to get back in as Boomy, so I'm just focusing 100% on Boomy, but you can queue as Resto, heal as Resto, but gear for Boomy. Set your loot specialization to Boomy or whatever feral, or for your own classes. If you're a Paladin, you want to level Ret, level the Ret tree, or loot specialized for Ret. Things like that. And you can do that without punishment and still get groups just instantly looking for healers or tanks. So I definitely recommend doing that. It just makes things a lot easier if you're trying to make groups. The next one I would suggest in terms of getting gear is PvP. PvP is actually incredible for getting gear right now. First things first, you have the arena cap. So I've done both of mine looking at the RPG one. Rewards an item level 9, 15 or above based on your highest rating from last week. Obviously if you're a new character, you haven't played in a while, your highest rating is probably going to be 0, as mine is. So again, did some 3s, did some 2s, got my items. I've actually replaced a couple of the items already, but it is what it is. It was fairly easy to do, didn't take me too long. The 2s were actually harder than the 3s just because I played Boomy, and Boomy sucks in 2s. Still. But yeah, so just do 2s, and you can actually get them via losing now. You don't actually have to win to get your honor cap. It obviously goes a lot quicker, but you don't have to win, so you can just farm 2s, farm 3s, and eventually you will get those items. I'd say if you're not winning, it's probably not particularly efficient in... I would say it's probably not particularly efficient if you're not winning at least a couple. But still, if you want a piece of gear that's just going to boost your item level by a fair bit, that's a way to do it. Again, like I said, 2s wasn't very successful. 3s, I went well over like the 50% win rate, and actually we stayed around for a little bit afterwards as well, just to get some more rating, because why not? The other thing then is BGs. Don't do skirmishes if you want gear. You don't really get gear from skirmishes. You get a lot of artifact power very quickly, but you don't get gear. Whereas the random battlegrounds, every time you win, you will get a piece of combatant gear. Combatant gear, can't remember. Let's have a look. I can't quite remember what the dominant combatant gear gives in terms of eye level. I think it's like 15 levels below, so maybe like 885, 890 sort of eye level. Still a decent eye level, and will help you get in, and you get that every single time you win a BG. I'll have a video coming up in the next couple of days on how to increase your win rates in BGs as well. Very, very easy to do. There's just a couple of different things you have to sort of take notice of, and it's very, very easy to increase your wins in BGs. I've been winning, I think I've lost 2 out of 10, so 8 out of 10, 8 out of 10 wins, pretty good win rate. And again, you get some gear out of that, and artifact power and all that good stuff. Next, crafted gear. So money is going to be a little bit of an issue at the start, and old raids, things like that, definitely a way, especially if you have no other characters. Like I said, I've just come back to the game. I've also come back to NA, so I literally didn't even have mounts. I've had nothing on this account. I've gone over to NA, and I did a couple of the old raids, almost 50k gold. And that's after I've bought some pieces. So once I hit 100, I actually did old raids. That was the first thing I did. And I ended up making about 80k through all the old raids I did. None of them were particularly hard. I sold every green that potentially could sell. I actually got a decent lucky green from like Blackwing Layer, I believe. Or Blackwing Layer, the level 60 version, level 60 raid for Transmog. And it's really, really easy to do. Made myself a good chunk of money, and from that I've bought some items that have kind of helped me along the way. So I actually managed to buy the legendary really cheap, just because someone was selling them without the upgrade, and I just upgraded them because, I mean, why not? So yeah, there's definitely easy ways to get gear through that. Buying gear, going to the old raids. Like I said, I'll make a video on that as well in the next couple of days on how I got my gold when I first hit 110, and pretty good ways to farm gold just in general. It's pretty fun content as well, just one shot and everything, being a beast. Then moving on, you've got raids. Now raids are a little bit harder because most people, you go to Nighthold now, most people expect you to have curve. You go to Tomb of Sargeras, same situation. They expect you to have curve and like 10 eye levels above what the raid actually drops. You go to Antorus, people are already expecting 11 out of 11 achievement, that you've killed every boss. Which is crazy because it's the first week. So how would you have killed every boss and still need the raid unless it's an ult? And if it was an alt, I don't have very good gear because it's an alt. So, not very good logic there, but people are still already expecting decent baller gear to come out. It's a shame, it really is, but it is the way the game is. So do you know what? Best thing you can do, and going off my sort of Mythic Plus advice as well, make your own group. Don't go in there with like 850 eye level, because it's not going to happen. Like, it's just not realistic. However, you turn around and say, I've got 900 eye level now, or 915 eye level now, and I'm like, I'm fairly confident I could do Antorus. My DPS is good for my eye level. Let's go give it a go. And make a group. Even if you clear 5 bosses, you don't clear all of it, you clear 5 bosses. You can then turn around with the 1 piece or 2 pieces of gear you got out of that and be like, right, my eye level's now 920. Maybe I can actually get into a raid now. And this is it. You start showing that you've got a little bit more gear than what's actually necessary. And all of a sudden, it gets a lot easier to get into the raids that then clear the 1111s. So my biggest recommendation above all else is make your own groups. There's just no reason to let someone else do it for you, and that sounds a bit strange, but why would I do it if I could let someone else do it? And you're kind of right, but also because why not? Like I said, it's so easy to do, to set up a raid. You get it on the right sort of peak time for your server, peak time for your zone. So NA, obviously it's a bit weird for me because I haven't quite figured out when the peak times actually are for them guys. Compared to obviously me, where I could tell you that like maybe an hour or 2 ago was probably the peak time for EU. But yeah, so make your own raids. And that's about it. The other thing I would say is emissaries and world quests. Now the best things to say, especially if you're just coming back to the game, you're a fresh 110 say, moving into world quests, delay your world quests as much as you can, because delaying world quests means you get higher eye level up to a certain point. I believe it's like 880 is like the cutoff or something, maybe 870, but after that the eye level doesn't really go up on world quest. But before that, if you do a world quest at 860 and then come back at 870, the exact same world quest will probably give a higher reward, just because that's the way the system works. Up to a certain level, it's supposed to help you gear up and guarantee rewards. So make sure you're using them world quests at the best possible opportunity. But that's it. So that's my 5 big tips for coming back to the game and figuring out how to get some gear. I hope that's helped you guys. Like I said, I'll be doing more videos in the next couple of days on Mythic Pluses and just like quick ways to get decent groups, battlegrounds, good ways to improve your win rates in battlegrounds, like just solo queuing in. And yeah, so guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Leave a like if it helped, and catch you later, guys.